Hello, Sharan. Can you hear me?
Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening. Okay, I'm expecting few more people to come online, and in some time I'll start with the session. Okay?
Yeah, ma'am. No problem.
Yeah. Do you have a system or a laptop with you?
Yeah, ma'am. I have a system with me. Sorry, laptop.
So can you connect with that rather instead of connecting with your phone?
Actually, there is some audio problem in my laptop, so I gave it for servicing. Probably he might give me. He might give me tomorrow.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Fine. Okay, let's wait for others to join.
Okay, ma'am. Hello,
Yes.
ma'am. When is the DXV interviews are scheduled?
It is for, I have the tentative date of 11 July. So
11
I
July, ma'am.
think, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll get to that. Okay, it is also news for me. So I'll let you know about the same. Okay, let's wait
Okay.
for a few more minutes and then we'll start. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. No problem.
Till then, guys, you all can switch on your camera. Can you all switch on your camera, people? Money?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. For these sessions, it is very much required that I get to see you. Can I get to see you all? Please switch on your cameras. Okay, so Sharan, can you tell me what is your latest qualification? Sharan,
Yeah, ma'am.
your latest qualification.
Yeah, still I'm pursuing engineering, ma'am. I'm 8th student of PDF College of Engineering. In the,
Okay. So you're in the last year, right?
yeah,
Final year.
yeah, final year 8th sem.
Eighth sem. Okay, I did not hear that. Okay. So how good are you in Java?
Sorry, ma'am.
How good are you in Java?
Ma'am, frankly speaking, I don't know anything about the anything about the because I am from electronics department,
You're
and
from
this is my
electronics department.
yeah electronics and instrumentation, EI, and this is my first class. I was not aware of anything. I have contacted to Jaya ma'am, and she said, "Okay, I'll send you a link. Join to the DXC. Sorry, Million Lights."
Okay, fine. So let's your journey start today. Okay.
Okay, I know I have missed. I have like missed many classes. Probably 250 models have been completed. She have addressed me.
I'll try to get you on board, and maybe I will be able to get all of you on a single face. Okay.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
to even if I have two people, I have to continue. So for me to talk to you or communicate to you, I would require you to switch on your camera. If your camera is off, it is quite difficult for me to. Can you do the needful? Switch on your camera.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying, ma'am. For that time, it's not working. I guess.
When you logged in into the system, I saw your camera was on. So if you can make that
Yeah,
happen
that's what
again, so I
it.
think that would.
Yeah, that's what at the initial time it was on. I don't know whether it's storage problem or anything. Trying that from since that.
Let you just try. Okay, not an issue.
Yeah.
Hello, Sudhanshu.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Okay, so people, let's start with the session today. Before I start, if I'm not wrong, on Friday you must have received some assignment to be done, right? So, what is the status, Sudhanshu?
Actually, ma'am, I couldn't complete that assignment because
How much did you complete?
uh, I was trying to run that project, ma'am, but I was not able to run. I
So, what did you
downloaded.
learn? Can you tell me which project you chose that you learned from your end? Can you tell me which was the project that you chose, the mini project that I had given you? I did not expect you to write everything. I did not expect you to get all the functionality. What my main funda was, if given you a problem statement, if given you to do a program, how are you going to deal with it? And I had
I
also mentioned that you were supposed to complete one program in a day. So if you're not completing it, then I need to know what exactly did you do during these three
I was
days of session, which was not there. Yes.
trying to do car rental system and
Yeah.
library management as well. I can.
So what did you do about car rental system?
Uh, Actually, ma'am, I have designed login page. I was trying to run that project, ma'am, but I was actually I couldn't uh, connect through Jdbc, ma'am.
I
I
did
couldn't
not
connect.
ask you to do that. I asked you to only put those concepts into your project, which included module 1, 2, and 3, and nothing more than that. JDBC is in module 4, if I'm not wrong. Yes, you're not supposed to connect to JDBC. I don't want you to store data into your database. I just want you to
Then
give me the function. Any which ways you're working with a console-based application. What are you going to do with it? I wanted you to
I
show how you're going to accept the input from the user. How are you going to generate different kinds of things which are associated? Let's say if you're going for a car rental system for a particular based on kilometer per hour, or if you're going for on an hourly basis, or what is the pattern that you're choosing? If given a question, how are you going to find a solution to it was the main problem area here, was the main thing that you have to deal with. How are you going to implement that into your system? How are you going to implement it using your own programming? Because it is all about programming. If you cannot define what can be used where, it is quite difficult for you to get through it. Yes, it was only
yes,
one
ma'am.
person who has sent me some work, and it was money, only two programs, but I did not get 3 as it was required to be a 3 program thing. So I think Mani, you can work. I'll just discuss about your program as well, but by the end of the session, I'll be doing that thing. For now, I'll just continue with the session. Okay? Yeah. So Abhinav.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What is with your face? Can you just make it possible for me to see the whole of you? Okay. Why are you always so relaxed in the session?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
Okay. So what did you do? The
Uh,
program was given, right?
yeah, I
Project was
completed.
given.
Yeah, ma'am. I just wanted to tell you that your pace is quite fast. I completed module 1, 2, and 3 complete, and also did the interview questions, and I also did those quizzes. As far as those programs are concerned, I'll submit it tomorrow.
I want it by the end of the day.
May I do it? May I do it tomorrow?
No, I want it by the end of the day.
Okay, I'll try my best to.
How many did you attempt so far?
2, MARD management system and the employee management system.
Can you show it to me?
Ma'am,
Email me whatever work you have done so far, so that I can discuss what you have done. Okay?
I'll email after the end of the session.
Huh?
I'll email after the end of the session.
Do it now.
Ma'am, actually, they are still working. I need to. They are still in progress. The work is in progress.
It's okay. It's really okay with me. I want to see how much work you have done. I am not interested whether you have completed everything or not, because nobody has. So if you are giving me something incomplete, it is going to be fine on this scenario, on this board right now. So you just have to zip your folder and send it to me, to whatever project you have worked upon. Okay? Do it now. Yeah. So guys, we are going to go ahead with, I think object-oriented programming is not a big deal for you now, right? Are we good here?
Yes.
Object-oriented
Yes,
programming?
Yes.
Yeah, so ask any question, you should be able to answer anything. Yes?
ma'am, it will be great if you discuss all those programs which you have given us for the as an assignment, ma'am.
I don't get you. What?
Ma'am, I was saying it would be great if you discuss all those programs which you have given us as a assignment, because I was
मुझे
not
किसी
getting.
का आउटपुट तो आने दो, किसी का कुछ तो आने दो जिससे मैं बात करूं. मुझे किसी ने दिया नहीं है अभी तक कोई भी प्रोग्राम कि मैं उस चीज पर डिस्कस करूं कि भाई ऐसे नहीं करना है. मैं ही अगर आपको बता दूंगी तो मैं आपको आंसर दे दूंगी, मैं ही आपकी जॉब पे जाके बैठ जाती हूँ ना. ऐसे नहीं चलेगा ना. You're not able to figure it
Ma'am,
out. That is
yeah,
what you need to figure out, right? So let's say, for example, you are going to search for the system. Let's say what you're going to do. You're going to search for the system online. I'm just going to show it to you in this way. Okay, just a minute. Come up with your own ways. I'm just going to give you a big picture again. Okay. So my first question was, just a minute, huh? Let me just get through the first question. Yeah. So this was the week assignment that I had given. Okay, let me just share it in the chat window again. Okay. This was the thing given. First was a car rental system. Second thing was to identify and implement the opportunities for exception handling. Then writing a program to illustrate sequential decision and loop constructs, pizza delivery system, employee manager. So from 7, you were supposed to do 3. Okay. And let's see how you're going to think about it. Let's say I want to think about how to work on a console based, because I'm not going to have any UIs, a specific UI to communicate with the user. I have to enter everything into this IDE, and IDE is going to process the input and give me the output. So it is going to be a simple statement stuff that you need to think about. Okay, so what you can do here is you can simply search for car rental project. Okay, project in Java, something like this. I'm searching for it here. I'll directly go for images and think about what are the processes that I can go ahead with. Okay, so here it is saying, see if you see here, it says for car rental, there is a transaction receipt created. So I get to see some credentials in here where there's a car with maybe say some model number associated with it. There is a rental days, rental price, total payment. So these are some of the credentials, some of the fields that you can have into your Pojo, right? You get one. Yes, so you can get some more information, you can get some more things about the car. Let's say there's one more which is in some other language. Let's not go with that. Okay, so there is one so you can ask the user. Okay, you can just give a welcome message. Let's say, for example, I'll just give you the output that is going to make more sense during this point of time. Okay, guys, those who are coming online, make sure that your camera is on and I get to see you, because people being invisible and only listening to what I'm going to talk is not making any sense. So it's better that you talk to me. Okay. So this is what we have. Do you get to see this? So now I want to go for car rental system. So what are the things required? Rental, right? So you need to do some research about how the system works. You need to get some background information about it. So first of all, I have to dig into what is car. I need to dig what is rental system for cars. So you will be having things for cars, such as you can go for car model number, you can go for name of the car, then you can go for mileage. We have mileage, right? Or average. Mileage, bad with, not great. MILAGE. Yes. Then you have all the other things that you can determine for a car to be useful for a person to hire it, to rent it for their purpose. Okay, and of course you can have something to check availability, so you can have check availability or something like that. You can have all these things into your Pojo for your class. The next thing is the rental system. The rental systems require you to have some functionality to be done. Okay, so car is supposed to be rented. So what are the different things you can think about a particular car? What do you think? For renting a car, what are the things that you can think about?
Ma'am, it's a mini or
Yes. So you can just look up to Ola or Uber that you have. See to it, what are the things present in their system. Okay. And then you can use it for your system. Okay. So you want to, what was it? You said something, right? Money?
yes, ma'am. Mini car.
Yes. What is the type? Okay, so here you want to go for, so again the type can go for the model for renting. Basically you want to go for a mini, or you want to go for sedan, or you want to go for the other types. Okay, other than that you can look up for the prices which are available. Other than that you can look for the timings. Okay, the availability or a nearby location. Yes. So all these inputs that you're taking, you are going to take it from the console application itself. They are something that you are going to put in. You just have to create a system which is going to take up all the details and give you a proper system to give you output such, like, let's say this is your output. Okay. I'm not showing everything. So my output is basically having things like welcome to ML car rental service. Okay, this is what I get at first. Then you are going to ask the user, prompt the user, kindly enter your option. Okay, before that you need to put in some question. Okay, for sorry, for what purpose you would like to rent a car. Yes, so maybe you can give the first option as for personal use. Okay, you can go for office use. Okay, or if there's any other type that you can mention, you can go ahead with that. So kindly enter the option. So once you have received the option, you have to make such a logic into your program based on the input accepted. You have to go ahead with the system. You have to follow a path. You need to follow a process. Now the determining the process is again your task, because I want you to see how a particular system works. You get the point? I cannot directly give you the answer here. What I'm doing here is just showing you what I'm expecting you to give me. Okay, it is going to be a simple conversation thing that is required. I'm not asking you to create a UI or a GUI based application. It is very simple, and only if and else's and all the constructs are supposed to be properly placed. Yes? You get the deal, people?
Yes, ma'am. Now I get.
Yes? Yeah. So it's not tricky. It is
Actually,
just that you
initially
need
I
to
was
do some
thinking, ma'am.
research. Yeah?
Initially I was thinking, ma'am, I should have to perform those projects with the UI.
No, no, no. I did not mention that. Did you just read to whatever I have sent? There were statements given. You just have to stick to module. You have to try to implement all the concept, almost all the concepts which are present in module 1, 2, and 3. You don't have UI in there. You don't have Jdbc in there. So why did you think that you have to put all these things in there? It was not at all required. Not at all necessary.
I thought so because it was my
Getting the deal?
yes, ma'am. Now I get you, ma'am.
Okay.
I thought so because you have mentioned project, ma'am. So actually, it was my mistake, ma'am.
Okay. So shall we continue? I think that's a problem now,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So my question, how many of you are comfortable with module 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody is comfortable with module 1?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Ma'am, I have
Sure.
not done yet a DSA, ma'am.
What you have not done?
DSA, ma'am.
मैंने
Data
आपको
structure.
बोला डीएसए पे इतना स्ट्रेस मत करो, उतना ही पढ़ो जितना आपकी कलेक्शन में रिक्वायर्ड है.
Okay.
ठीक है? वो डीएसए पहले कंसेप्ट इसीलिए दिया है क्योंकि बिफोर स्टार्टिंग द प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज इट इज रिक्वायर्ड दैट यू फर्स्ट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज द अंडरलाइंग थिंग्स रिक्वायर्ड फॉर इट. Okay, so if you before we start with C or C++, we always start with data structures to get through the concepts. Why are we using it? Because at the end of the day we are dealing with data. We are writing our code and we are dealing with everything here to maintain our data. We are going to take data from the user. We are going to give information to the user. So the processing of your data into information is the greater importance. That is what we are doing. And information cannot be of any random use. It has to be a useful one and a timely one, right? So for that reason we come in between to make it more possible, to make it more understandable to the end user, whosoever is using the system. And hence Java OOP is into the picture. You just need to make sure that the same thing that you're doing, the processing is easy for you at your end. You need to make it easy at your end as well, because you are the developers. You need to make sure that the system that you have generated can be easily manipulated, maintained, and handled by you. Manipulation is basically done if you have got some, it's not the actual word is not manipulation, it is optimization or enhancement of your code. Okay, the 10-line of code that you must have written 4 weeks from now, 4 weeks before from now, can be now written in a single statement. That is what a programmer is supposed to do at each and every month or each and every week that he is developing his application for, because it is his application. He should be able to do that. Do you understand? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Better. Okay. So I am going to give you some code that you need to make sure that you guys are very clear to work with it. Okay. Now here are some codes that I will ask you to go ahead with. Okay. So you said that you are good with you're good with module 1, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
So I want each of you, in next 10 minutes to give me prime number, the program for prime number. Start now. Type out the
Okay, ma'am.
code now. Quickly. Okay, so it is 8:24. By 8:34, I'm going to ask you to share your screen. Let's be quick in that perspective. Yes,
Okay,
Nutan
ma'am.
Patil, can you switch on your camera? Can we talk? Nutan. Hello, Nutan. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so can you switch on your camera?
Yes, ma'am.
You need to write down the code to implement prime number. Okay, 10 minutes. Write down the code to implement prime numbers. If you know the program, do you know the program? How to write Java program? Yes, Nutan?
Ma'am,
Hello,
network
Nutan.
problem is there.
Yeah, that's okay. At your end or at my end?
My end, ma'am.
It's okay. It will get resolved. Okay, don't worry. You can resolve it. Let's just make sure that you get to talk to me. That's the main thing. Do you know how to work with Java? Do you know how to write code in Java?
No, ma'am.
You knew?
No, ma'am.
You knew in Java? That is what I'm asking.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what is your background? Latest qualification?
Bachelor of Engineering, ma'am. Final year.
Which stream?
Electronics and Communication.
Okay, great. Not a big deal. So what I want you to do is, you know how to write a hello world program in Java?
Yes, ma'am. I know that.
Can you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Once
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
done with that, yeah, once you're done with that, do you have a laptop or a computer with you?
Yes, ma'am. I have
Okay.
laptop.
So just make sure that you write down the code for hello world in Java there. And once you're done with that, I want you to then upgrade to some of the other programs. Okay, I'll let you know what you need to do. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Once you're done, just let me know because I want to give you some more code that is going to help you to practice at your end. Okay. 5 minutes left. Okay. Anybody done?
Ma'am, may I share my screen?
Yes, please. And also your camera.
Sure. मैम ऑप्शन आ रहा है कि होस्ट डिसेबल्ड पार्टिसिपेंट स्क्रीन शेयरिंग.
Just yeah, no.
This is my code. I took a random number 29 to decide whether it is a prime or not. I took one variable boolean flag and initialized its value to false, and I used for loop. For int I equals to 2, I less than equal to number divided by 2 plus plus I.
Now, what is the logic? Why did you start the loop with 2, and why are you dividing the number by 2 and then pre-incrementing the value of I? Can you explain me the whole reason for using this?
Is because prime numbers are divisible by 1 in itself. Non-prime numbers have factors. If let's for even numbers, if the number is divisible by 2, if that means the remainder will be 0, that means it's not a prime number. Plus
That I understand, but what is with the division?
this one,
Number divided by 2. Yeah, this.
just to check whether it's odd or even, whether it's even number or not.
So let's say, for example, if I have got an odd number, I'm having 9. Okay. So I is equal to 2. I is less than equal to number that is 9 divided by 2. Yes, that is
4.
how much it is.
4.5.
And then I'm pre-incrementing it. That means the value is going to be of I is going to be 3. So now you're going to check it for this time. So 3 will be divided by a number. And yes, that is equal to 0. So it will break. And then it is going to go for flag. If flag, can you execute the code? Let's see what is the output.
Shall I run this?
Yes, of course. There's no recent launches. Okay. Okay. So there is an execute. Just a minute.
The loop will break if number is divisible is equal to 0.
Yes, yes. Can you grant me the access?
Sure.
Okay. First of all, there's some error that it is showing. Type public main must be defined in its own file. Where did you define it? Tutorial, hello world, .java. Okay, I'm not sure about it. So let's create one package here first. I'll say KAGE package, say com.tutorials. That is what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay, and semicolon. So now it is supposed to be given a package. I click on that and I move it to this particular package. And now I get to see this, and this is my name. Let's take this out. Okay, and this is my method. Okay, so now first of all, bad indentation. Okay, I don't want any one of you to have such a bad indentation of code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it. See, being an IT professional, being a developer, you need to make sure that your code is readable. You need to make sure of that. Yes. So here comes with the tab space, your public static void main. You can give one this. Then there's one. Then there's this one. You just need to make sure that everything is in place. Okay. Otherwise, it does not make any sense. Yeah. So here again, an indentation is required twice because for loop is supposed to contain some value within, right?
Right.
So you can see automatically it gets indented to the place where it is supposed to be. So it's because your laptop is this. So now it is going to go for a break. And then you have got this closing in here, the for loop closing in here. And now I get to see things clearly, right? What you have written. Previously, it was just randomly placed. For me, it was randomly placed. Yes.
I just
So now this is your code. Yeah. So now you still have got some error. Let's check for that. What that is all. Which IDE are you using?
Eclipse.
अरे यार इसका नाम क्या दिया है और उसका नाम क्या कर रहे हो आप? What is the name given? Of course you're using Eclipse. I'm asking for the version. What is the name of the class? Okay, so now this is much more clear. Now you just have to execute the code and see 29 is a prime number. 29 is a prime number. Yes, it is. So now let's add up 9. Save it and execute. 9 is not a prime number. Okay, fine. Good. So you were quick, but the only deal was you were not having full implementation, the full indentation of code. Okay, the things were not properly placed and you were not able to explain why did you have that particular line in your code. Okay, you should be knowing each and every part of your program that you have written.
Okay.
Considering that you have written the code, you should be able to answer about.
Sure.
Yes, who wants to go next?
Yes, ma'am. May I?
Yeah, please. Okay, also, so those who have completed their program, I want you to go ahead with these programs. Okay. This is the whole thing that I want you to do, the 7 code. You don't have to do it now, but I want you to do it at the earliest. Okay, so this is
Okay,
your
ma'am.
code. You are accepting a number from the user using scanner. And then you are starting your I with 2 and dividing the number and then you are subtracting the number -1. Why are you doing that? Why is your for loop containing num -1 into it?
Yes, ma'am. Because as we know the definition of prime number, right? The definition is the number which is divisible by 1 and itself number is known as prime number. We will take a number. I have taken a
You
number.
will take a number. Yeah. Yeah.
We will take
Please.
a number, and I am dividing it by 2. I'm
Where?
dividing it by 2 till num -1. Like I have took a number 7.
Until the num. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
fine,
So
fine.
I'll divide it starting from 2 till 6, because we know 7. If any number is divisible by 7 itself is a prime number. So there is no need of uh, to check the divisibility of that number by itself.
Okay, let you just
So
enter a
we will
number.
check. Sorry, ma'am.
Can you enter the number down?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Let you enter 7, like you said.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 7 is a prime
Okay.
number.
Execute again. Execute for 9.
Yes, ma'am.
Execute again. Go for 2. Okay, great. Good. Okay. So nothing
I
that
have
I
done
have
it
to
earlier,
correct
ma'am.
here.
I have done it earlier. I was just waiting for others to complete their program,
Oh,
complete their presentation.
yes. You can stop sharing. Okay, good. Money, you're left.
Ma'am,
So you can see in the chat window, people, that all the programs you need to do to clear out your basic logical thing. This is the basic logical thing that you need to go ahead with. Stop sharing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Money. What did you say?
ma'am, I'm not done, ma'am. I know what is prime number, but I don't know how to put logic in a program to print the prime number, ma'am.
That is what you need to do, right? Now, these set of programs are given to you. Make sure that you complete them. Now, instead of only focusing on DA, say now focus on these things. Okay? Okay. So next thing that we will be doing is next type of program. Okay. Now,
Ma'am, there are so many programs which you have put in chat, non-chat box, ma'am.
yes.
So
So you
which
need
one?
to try it. Okay. Make sure there are no grounds left. Okay.
Which, ma'am?
No,
Which program, ma'am?
all of them. Not now. That is for you
Okay.
to practice. You don't have to
Okay,
do
ma'am.
it now. I'm giving you another code to do. Yes, Abhinav. Let's move on to the next code.
Sure, ma'am.
Yes. Now we'll do static. Okay, 10 minutes again. You guys need to implement static keyword, static method, static variable, and if time permits, static block. The static keyword again, so you can have static block, static method, static variable, and if time permits, static class.
In the next question, this one,
If you
right?
think static can be implemented on a class.
Ma'am, in this question, right, write a program to check whether the number entered is Armstrong number or not.
No, that is for you to do at your end.
Okay, so
All the program that I have given before, you have to make sure that you come tomorrow prepared with all these programs. You should be having a proper thing at your end, a proper program to show me at your end.
all these
Okay?
programs, right?
Yes, all of them. And now you need to write down a code to implement static into your program.
Okay.
Functionality or implementation of static keyword. Can do it now?
We'll try.
Yes, Money?
Yes, ma'am, I will try.
Yeah, good. Okay, so once that is done, I'll let you know what are the other keywords that needs to be implemented.
Ma'am, do I implement all those concepts into one program, ma'am? Or
You need to see, yeah, for static, you just have to create one program that will show all the static implementations. Yeah.
okay.
Done? Yes?
Yes, ma'am, done.
Okay, sure.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, this is what I did. Java program to demonstrate the static method does not have access to the instance variable. I imported Java, then declared public class GFG, static variable, static defined integer a with random value 40, then instance variable b 50, then created a class simple display, then system.out print ln a print b, then declaration of static method.
Okay,
Static,
okay, fine. I can read that. Switch on your camera. Switch on your camera. Let me see you. Yeah. My question, what is the difference between a static variable and an instance variable?
static variable does not change its value during the execution of the program. Instance variable can change its value.
How can you change the value of an instance variable?
While running the code.
But you have got a lot of error into your code. Okay. Now, first of all, let me tell you this very straight. Okay, the program name is GFG, but the file that you have created is in module-info.java. I don't understand. Did you write this code on your own?
Yes, ma'am. I wrote this.
You wrote the code? Okay, can you tell me why did you give the name as GFG?
Randomly, I assigned a random name.
Why? My question was very simple to understand, right? Let me give you the full form for GFG. That is Geeks for Geeks.
Okay, but I took a random name.
You took a random name. So
Yeah.
you're saying that if I search for the same code online, I won't be getting the exact code, right? Yes?
You can
This is
get.
what you're saying. Yes? Did you hear me?
Yes.
Because what I can see here is there is on line number 21, there's one issue with, okay, there are a lot of errors, but can you tell me what is the point of having line number 21?
Static void static display.
What is that?
That is Declaration of a static variable.
Stop sharing.
I don't know how to do that. Oh, shit.
Of course, you did it before. You just have to do it again. You know what you did, right? I'm not going to say it out loud because one of the students were doing this and he got disqualified from the interview itself. You're not helping me, you're not helping yourself. I'm no one to comment on this one, but yes, I will comment. Do not copy.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a pure because I am there on internet. I do this all the time. I have seen nearly all the programs for all the concepts because I am a teacher. I have to go through everything. My source, I can see all the sources in your program. What was the point?
Sorry.
If you're doing a code quickly and you're copy pasting the code, and that too, did you know what was the major mistake you did? You did not change the class name. Copy ऐसे नहीं करते. पहली बात तो मैं भी थी स्टूडेंट थी, मैं तो बोल रही कॉपी ही नहीं करना है, और कॉपी करके इतनी सारी गलतियां दिखा रहे हो. मॉड्यूल info डॉट जावा में आपने कॉपी पेस्ट किया है. व्हाट इज द पॉइंट? So you're not following what I have taught. You're not following the package creation, the class creation, and everything. Just simply copy pasting the code onto an existing file, not making a sense to me, and you're just simply wasting your time.
No, ma'am. Actually, I just wanted to wanted the how to create static size for it online. That's why I copy pasted.
I don't know. Okay, Sudhanshu, you're done? Hello, Ajinkya. Can you switch on your camera?
No.
Okay. Ajinkya ने no बोला कि Sudhanshu ने no बोला?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Please complete it. And how about money?
I'm not done yet, ma'am.
Okay. Ajinkya, can you switch on your camera? Okay. 5 more minutes. Please complete your code and let me know. Okay. I'll take a break here for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and we'll be back. Okay. In 10 minutes, we'll be back.
Okay.
I think you're done, Sudhanshu. Static.
No, ma'am.
What
Please,
happened? Yes.
just 1 minute, please.
Okay. Mani, what about you? Okay. So
Ma'am, I have done static method, ma'am. I don't perform a static logs and variable. I am variable and method.
So, okay, the main idea for you to write down this code is write down any of the code that you want. So, if any conceptual code is given to you, so this was asked in one of the interviews, wherein they asked the candidate to implement static keyword. Now you can listen to me. Leave it. Leave it. Listen here. That's it. It's 9 o'clock. Okay. Guys, can you listen to me? Am I audible? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
Oh, good. So here you need
Yes,
to show or you need to talk about static keyword. You need to write down the code that is going to show the working of static keyword. For your understanding, static keyword is the one which is going to help you to create a class level member for which an instance method, instance variable, or an instance is not supposed to be created. There's separate location wherein these static variables are created and stored. Whereas, for instance, there's an object created and that particular instance or object is going to point to a different memory location present in the heap memory. This is one differentiation. The second thing is if I create a static, what happens if I create a static variable? A static variable can be stored inside. So, the static variable can be stored by all the other non-static or instance objects of the same class. They can share the same data. If I change or if I wish to change that particular data, I can only change that data into a static method. Okay, you cannot change a static variable within a non-static method. That is a simple scenario. Understood? This is about static variable, very simple. The next thing is about static method. A static method is simply like a public static void main, wherein I can
sorry to interrupt,
access.
but can you repeat yourself?
Why? Where were you?
I was listening, but you are saying quite fast. Please, can you repeat yourself once again?
What do you want me to repeat?
What is static method?
Static method is simply similar to your main method, right? It is even that is public static void main. Even that is static, right?
Yeah.
So any method which is
Ma'am,
associated. Yes.
can I say something? Actually, I know all those concepts, but I don't know how to implement all those concepts into in a program. The problem is happening with me is this, ma'am.
I know. So you know this concept, right?
I'm
So
not
can you
getting how to implement all those programs. Yes, ma'am.
you know how to write down the code as well
Yes,
for the
ma'am.
concepts? You know?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
Yes,
why are you
ma'am.
still not done with it?
Ma'am, I can implement all those concepts into different programs, but not all concepts. But I can't implement all those concepts into different programs.
Yes, but cannot hear you. Hello.
I think yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's say I want to try implementing. So you know how to work with static, right? That is what you're saying.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I know, ma'am. Because you have helped us, ma'am.
Keywords. Okay, so let me just give a quick thing. Okay, static demo,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
we'll see how this works. Okay. So let's say, for example, when I say I'm creating static things, static does not require you to call it with an instance or with an object. Instance is nothing but your object. Please make sure, guys, that your camera is on. So let's say within this class, I am creating a static variable. Let's say a non-static variable. Let's say I'm creating
Yes, ma'am.
some, let's say instead of static demo, I'm creating a new class here. Okay, class employee. Okay, now this employee is supposed to have few things, like it has got ID, it has got string name. Okay, maybe then it has got the string again with the company name.
A string address component.
Okay, com name. This is what I have. These are three things which I have.
Yes.
Now, for all the employees within a company, this thing is going to be common, right? It is never going to
Yes, ma'am.
change. Right.
No,
So
no.
let's say this is for company ML.
Yes,
Right.
So I will put this variable as static. I will put all the variables static.
Okay, so I can have, let's say I'm creating a simple method, void set data, or let's say, yeah, set data is the name of the method wherein all the details for this can be added. Let's say I am calling out, sorry, it's 101, then name is equal to Neha. This is what I have, and I'm having one more method, void get data, and which is supposed to display me all the method. Simple, very simple code. Okay, for our understanding. So what I'm doing here, I'm creating simple SISO, and within this, I am showing the employee details, right? So I'm saying employee details. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm writing this, saying employee ID is equal to, or let's say employee ID plus I need to access ID, right? So I'll say ID.
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, I'll say so I have got ID, then there is name, and there is company name, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And of course, this needs to be changed, name and company name. Company. Okay, this is done. Now inside my public static void main, if I need to access it, I simply have to create the object of this class. Okay, what is the name of my class? Employee. I need to create an object for the same. So I will be writing employee. E is equal to new employee. Now to access all, I have to simply write E dot set data
dot
and
ID.
dot get
ID.
get. Yes, this is what I have. Yes, if I try to execute, it is going to simply give me the output which I have it to my system. Now, the deal here is if I try to create one more data, if I try to create one more employee object, this particular thing, which is common, will again be occupying a space inside my object memory for writing, for storing the value of ML.
Yes.
Right? So let's say if I have got hundreds of employee detail, now again, it is going to occupy that many. Yes. So instead of doing this, I can simply
I'll
write
put
it.
that variable as a static.
Yes. Now, if it becomes static, now each of the objects, the object that I've created is, let's say, employee E. The other one is maybe say something else. So whenever I'm going to call, so let's say I'm having a constructor here.
It will not.
Constructor with fields. Okay. And then you can see now even constructor cannot accept the value for the static member. So if I'm having this, and if I'm trying to access the value, let's say this is employee 1, and I'm trying to give in some value for ID and name. So here the value is this, and here the name is, let's say, okay. And then I see here E1 and E1. Now the problem here is I need to also create a default constructor because it is always required if I'm creating any constructor. It is mandatory for us. So once I do that, you can see now if I execute the code, now each of these objects are showing me the same company name and they are all are sharing the same variable, which is the com name, which I have in here. Do you get the point? Yes. So this is for static variables. Okay. The second thing that I can have is for static methods. Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, your voice was breaking, so I couldn't get you what you have put it just before, ma'am. Like I think you have put it here, super this. No, this one, ma'am.
In the
it
chat.
was not audible that you have put it. That you have put here super this.
That is
So
for your work. That is for your homework.
okay, ma'am. But I know, ma'am.
Yes,
But I know, ma'am.
good. You know it, but I don't get to see it.
Okay, ma'am.
Knowing is not an issue. You should be able to reproduce what you know. That is the main deal. That is the reason why you're here, right?
Okay, ma'am. Well,
Okay, so now
okay,
if
one thing,
I
ma'am. One thing more, ma'am. One thing more. What is the benefit of creating constructor? What would be the benefit of creating constructor here, ma'am?
so I don't have to always call set data. So if I want, I can just skip calling set data. You can see because I called set data again, the second object was having the same value. So now if I just take out set data and simply call the constructor object, now it has been initialized with what I have in here. Yes? Understood?
Sorry,
So
ma'am.
previously it was all showing up the same detail. What happened?
Please repeat again, ma'am. Please.
What do you want me to repeat? See,
Uh,
set data,
uh,
if I don't call set data here, the values are never going to be initialized for object E. Because I want to initialize the value, I can also call a constructor and skip calling set data for object E1. And instead of
yes, ma'am.
doing there in the method, I can do it here. That is the use of calling a parameterized constructor or constructor with fields.
So we can remove it from here, na, ma'am. E
Yes.
dot set data.
No, but I have
And
not
E dot get.
initialized it here, right? So if I'm not
Yes, ma'am.
initializing, I don't want to use the set data, then I have to write
Yes,
down
ma'am.
this code which I have here in my employee constructor.
Yes,
This
ma'am.
will work.
Now I get.
Yes, then, and I can just get rid of this. It's not required then.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Now I get.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So now, next thing, I want to create a static method. Now let's see where the static method comes into picture. Okay, let's say for example, here I want to change the value of ML to Millionlights. So now if I try to change it inside my constructor, it is not possible because my constructors are not static, because I cannot create a static constructor. Maybe in Gdbc I can. Let's try to do that. So I am saying for, let's say, com name is equal to, and I'm saying million lights. Okay, semicolon. Yes, I tried to
Yes,
change
ma'am.
the data here. So now if I try to execute, now my data is going to be like this. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if I don't want to do it here, okay, let's say if I am, I want to change it for the second employee. So the first employee, it was the same, but for the second employee, I want to change it again. So I can simply write it in this way. I can say for company name, I can say company. So I have to go for employee dot company name. Now, instead of writing E dot, I can directly make use of the class name and access the static member. Yes, so I can do it here is equal to Millionlights. I can do this as well. And now if I try to execute the code, both of them are going to show me different data, because for the first employee, it is getting the data which I have set here, which was Millionlight for the first reason, the first initialization. But later, after getting the data of E, I try to change the value of com name, and now I can see the changed one. Yes, so you can see that again, a static member can change your static data. Yes, understood?
Yes.
Yes.
In class, we can use instance as well as static.
Yes, both, because you can use anything anywhere unless and until it is within a method.
Okay.
Okay. So now these are just for declarations. Okay. Now let's create a static method. Okay. Now I am creating static void change name, change, okay, something like this. Now I'm trying to change the value. Let's try to change it. So I am saying com name. Okay, I can change that too. That's is also fine with me. So I'm saying, let's say Millionlights Academy, something like this. And now I want to see that particular thing to be implemented. How am I supposed to do that? Okay, so if I do this, it is not getting anything. It is not doing anything. So now instead of calling this in here, I want to call employee dot change. And now it is going to change to what I have for the reset reason. That is MLA. Understood? Okay, so this particular static method is again can be called using your class name. Okay, now, so if I try to change ID, not allowing me. Yes, because it is a non-static member. So a static method can only change a static member, whereas a non-static method can change static as well as instance member. Understood? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
then you have got a static block. Let's create one static block. So I have something like this, and it is saying calling static block. So I don't have any use as such, so I'm just going to show you how it works. So before even calling the main method, it calls the static block. Who? The compiler. Yes? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Then static class. That is a concept of nesting of class. How many of you know how to work with nesting of classes? Inner class, outer class. Do you know how to work with it?
No, ma'am.
So it becomes an altogether different concept. So I don't want to start it now. Okay. If you check in your chat window, you will be having all the questions that you need to work. Okay. You need to make sure that you are good to go for all the programs that I've given. Okay. For checking prime, for checking the Armstrong, strong, and all the other types of numbers. Along with that, you also need to make sure that you write down the code for final, static, and this keyword. There has to be a sample code ready with you as per your understanding that what needs to be done if so and so question is asked in the interview, with all the explanation that you can have in written in comments in your program. Understood? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or
Yes,
no?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now I want to give you a basic introduction of Jdbc today. A basic introduction. Okay?
Ma'am, ma'am, just for the hello,
Hello?
ma'am, just for the practice, from where we can get this program, ma'am? Can we get
What?
from anywhere? Just for
Research
the
online.
practice, ma'am.
You'll be getting
From
everywhere. Yes, you'll be getting everywhere all these kinds of examples in code. Okay, you just
but
refer to 10 different
notes
code.
in, but I couldn't get all implementation in one program, ma'am.
No, you don't have to. It is not necessary that you'll be having everything in a single code. Okay, the more important thing is here is
So,
that
ma'am,
you should
interviewer
be
can.
able to.
Uh,
Yes,
but interviewer can give a same program to perform, no, ma'am.
do such a practice that it becomes easy for you to manipulate your own code. That is what I want to say. Manipulate as in optimize your own code. Try the variations possible. ओके एक दो टाइप तो देखो जैसे स्टैटिक को हम
Okay.
लोग इस तरीके से करते हैं स्टैटिक को दूसरे तरीके से भी कर सकते हैं हम लोग एक स्टैटिक काउंट ले सकते हैं तो सिंपल सा कॉमन सा कोड है जो ऑनलाइन आपको मिल जाएगा काउंट की वैल्यू इंक्रीमेंट करने का आप उसको ट्राई करो आपको कस्टमर का एग्जांपल मिलेगा आपको किसी और चीज का एग्जांपल मिलेगा ट्राई टू इम्प्लीमेंट दैट इनटू योर कोड ट्राई टू इम्प्लीमेंट योर ओन कोड इफ यू वांट Because we don't have a lot of time, we are not going to do that. Okay, we are going to stick to all these things which I've mentioned so far. Okay, so the next thing is module 4
And
that I wish to talk to you about. Yes.
and ma'am, you have given us a project that is implement all the exception handling concepts in one program.
Hmm.
So
You have to give an example where exception handling will come into picture.
that's it.
The criteria was open, whether you want to go for a custom exception, whether you want to go for an already existing exception and generate it. We just have to make sure that all the concepts were properly held in, the concepts were properly explained in. Okay, so as per me, the question was to write a program, identify and implement the opportunity for exception handling.
Yes, ma'am.
At what instance exception handling will come into picture?
Like
Yes.
it can be arithmetic exception. It can be arithmetic exception, ma'am. No,
See,
right?
that is what I'm saying. The window was open.
Okay.
You can
So
choose
can
whatever
we?
you want.
So, ma'am, just one thing more, ma'am. Can we put arithmetic exception here? Will it be okay, ma'am? Just put it.
You want to go for a trivial thing?
No, no, ma'am. I was just asking because I was little confused after.
देखो, अब सबसे बड़ी बात क्या है पता है? एक चीज कर देने की है, उसको ट्राई कर देने का. Let you give it a try and see what happens if you do such a thing. Let it be wrong. Unless and until you're not wrong, you'll not get to know how to solve it. But you have to attempt. Attempting is the main criteria here. If you don't show that attempt, you are not satisfied. You are not satisfied. Your head does not make a sense to you. Whatever you're doing, your work does not make sense to you. So for that reason, you need to just to get rid of your confusion, try something. Show it to me that you have tried and it is not working. I'll talk to you then. You're not tried anything, and then you're coming to me and saying, "Ma'am, कुछ समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा है, शुरू कैसे करना है?" Then does not make any sense. I cannot help you
No,
there because you have not tried in that aspect. You have not shown me anything that is going to help me to help you to write down the code ahead.
I can
Yes.
I can easily perform simple programs, ma'am, like a
Yeah, main
string
goal
or
here.
array
See,
program.
the thing has come. We really don't have a lot of time to go ahead because we have our um, thing in this picture. We have our interview scheduled on 11th of July.
Yes, ma'am.
So it is very much required that we pace up. आप अपना कोड जावा करते रहेंगे साथ साथ में I'm going to go ahead with advanced Java, enterprise Java.
Okay.
Okay? I'm out of question now.
Yeah,
That is the
ma'am.
reason why I gave you a good amount of time to work for module 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now we will have to start with module 4. Okay, and the first topic there is Jdbc. Okay, shall we? Shall we start, people?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no?
Yes,
Okay, let me just share you
It will
one
be
of
great,
the
ma'am, if
yes,
you
ma'am.
start it by tomorrow.
by tomorrow. Why?
Because today we can get time for implementing all those modules, all three modules, ma'am.
No. साथ में करने का अभी. सब साथ में करने का.
Okay.
Okay, now we don't have a lot of time, so we will have to do it together. Okay, so now we are starting with the next thing, which is Jdbc. I have shared a code already to you. Okay, that is again for your basic Jdbc, employee Jdbc. For the first thing that I'm going to start here is to write down the package. So please make sure that all of you are following this. You have got the proper package name and everything into your system. Yes, demo. Now in here, I am trying to create a text file, and I'll be showing you all the concepts that you should be knowing about JDBC. First of all, let's start with the definition of JDBC. Yes? Do you know the definition? What is JDBC, people?
Java database connectivity.
Great. Yes, it is Java database connectivity. But why do we use that?
Just for the just for making connectivity with Java of a front end.
Okay, connectivity. Okay. So when I say JDBC, Java Database Connect, Java is the program that we write, and database is again an external thing to my Java
SQL,
program. Yes. So it is like database is collection of
data,
few
similar types of data.
things that you need to know about. Yes. When I say database, things that you need to know first, let's just talk about that. Okay, so this will occupy some time, and of course, JDBC is going to be shifted to tomorrow. Okay, the
Yes,
program
ma'am.
implementation. Okay, so first of all, everything that we are doing in here is to store data. So we have got data, then we have information, which is nothing but our process data, which we get once we have stored the data into our database. Now, database is going to have data tables. Okay, now these data tables are nothing but something that contains rows
Collection of
and
row and columns.
yes, it has
Columns.
got rows and columns. Okay,
Columns.
rows are also called as tuples.
Tuples
Yes,
and yes, ma'am.
whereas, and they are also called as records. Whereas columns are also called as fields. Okay,
Fields
fields is not the name.
and
It is called as attribute. I'll go with that.
attributes.
Yes, and one important thing, which is FIELDS. Fields are nothing but the column or attribute name.
Columns.
Okay, they are column names. Now, apart from this, you have got a lot of DBOs, okay, database objects, including things like table is one of the things. Then you have got views. Then there's something with anything that you can mention.
Index, procedures,
Functions, procedures, and
procedures,
indexes. Then you have,
index,
yeah, what else? Triggers,
triggers.
transactions. Yes, these are all the concepts, database objects, which you have. It's not basically the database things which you have um, into your any of the database you're working with. So you have got various servers giving you the deal. So you should be knowing about all the DB servers. Okay, the one which is very common and is very used
Oracle.
widely in the market is Oracle. Okay, so there are various versions. Okay, can anybody tell me the latest version for Oracle, which is used in the market?
I guess 11G.
11G. Are you sure?
No, man.
Search for it. Okay, there are tons of databases, which also includes MS, SQL,
SQL Server, DB2,
then DB2, then
DB2,
then
MS Access,
Sybase,
MS Access,
MS Access. Sybase, let's keep it there. MongoDB, MariaDB. And importantly, the one which I am very familiar with, MySQL. Again, it is a product of Oracle. Previously, it was owned by Mysql ABC, one of the US-based company. But later on, Oracle wanted something very tiny for some day-to-day tasks, so it overtook this MySQL thing. And now, again, MySQL is one of the products given by Oracle. So, in short, you can have at least 50 or some millions of data in 5 million or 7 million of records in your table, in your database that you're working with. Okay, So these are all about the servers. The other things that you should be knowing about is the SQL. Can you tell me what is SQL?
Yes, ma'am.
Structured query language.
Structured query language. It provides language to manipulate the database management system.
Yes. So if I have to talk to the database, like if I have to talk to my to my programs, if I want to write down any command for my system, then I make use of Java, right? Likewise, if I
Yes,
want to
ma'am.
use this application of database servers to talk with them, I need the language SQL. Okay, previously it was called as SQL. Okay, it was
SQL.
something with sequential and all those things. People also still call it SQL, but I don't know it as the clear thing. SQL will be the much better version for calling it. Okay, there is something called as NoSQL. This NoSQL thing can be done by using Hibernate. Do you know about it? There's something called as MongoDB. They support NoSQL concept. Okay, the very common examples which we have. We have got a lot of other things that we can opt for. Okay, now what do you mean by NoSQL? That means I'm not going to make use of SQLs using simple commands or simple language. I am going to give query to my server, database server precisely. Okay. So now next thing that you should be knowing about is SQL languages. SQL languages, or I say SQL types that you should be knowing about, command types.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you have got types such as
DDL, DDL, DML,
ML,
DQL,
DQL, then
TCL.
DCL,
Yes, ma'am. And
TCL.
TCL, ma'am.
Okay. So here D is very common. All the D stands for data, L stands for language. And all the other the in between or the middle letters, I'm just going to define that. So it is definition language. What are we going to define in here? We are going to define the DBOs, database objects, such as I can define a table,
Create.
I can define a view, I can define a procedure. Okay, so that can be done in here using the DDL language. Okay. The next thing that you have in DDL, things that you have, the commands which you have are
create,
okay.
alter, drop.
Yes. You have
Truncate.
create,
alter,
and drop.
truncate.
Yes. Truncate. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
The next thing
Insert.
for DML.
Insert.
It is nothing but manipulation.
Manipulation language.
Yes, it is a manipulation language again for database objects, but I can work with table, rows, and all those things. I can work with table, I can work with views, and you can just add up to the numbers. So what do we have here? We have got commands such as insert,
update,
and delete. Anything else? That's it.
And these are also third operations,
ma'am,
right?
we can also put here one select, ma'am. But if you have defined here DQL, it means we have to put it here, ma'am.
Okay, so this DSL or DRL, this thing I can tell you. Okay, this is nothing but your query, QERY, query, selection, or retrieval language. RIEVAL. Okay, so here you are going to actually have a single command, retrieve. Okay, so there's a single command for this one, which is select. And select has got a lot of things. Okay, so I can, yes.
Ma'am, can we put select in the ML command, ma'am?
We are not manipulating data using select. We can, but it is majorly used for retrieval. Okay.
But
Here, manipulation is basically to insert the data. I'm actually trying to manipulate my table structure, which I'm trying to add up details into the straight table structure, which already exists. So if I'm making use of select is only going to retrieve the data which is being stored into the database. So how
yes,
can I
ma'am.
put it in manipulation? So select comes along with a lot of pattern matching. Okay, there's something for pattern DCHING pattern matching. Then there are aliases that you can have. So this is something that you can go ahead with. Now the next command which you have is DCL.
Data control language.
Yes, it
Grant,
stands
revoke.
for control language. Here, controlling is giving a permission. Okay, this is
Yes,
basically
ma'am.
dealing with all the permissions that I can have. Yes, so for giving the permission, I have got
Grant,
grant,
rollback. And second one is rollback.
revoke.
Sorry, revoke.
Yeah. Yes. The next thing which I have is TCM, which talks about um,
Transaction
transaction
control language. Control
control.
language.
Here we are dealing with transactions. Transactions are nothing but some statements, some SQL statements to be executed as a whole. Okay, one or more SQL statement to be executed as a whole. So this transaction can be accompanied by commands such as commit. Either you complete
Commit
everything,
and
commit
rollback.
whatever changes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And rollback, ma'am.
And of course, there's one more, that is save point.
Save point, yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes,
is transaction related to uh, money transaction, ma'am?
a
Can we use this?
transaction is basically related to, like I said, transaction is collection of one or more queries. Now, these one or more queries are to be executed as a whole, or nothing is supposed to be executed at all. Okay, it has to follow the ACID property.
Yes, ma'am.
You know about this?
Yes, ma'am. Atomicity,
Atomicity, consistency, integrity, and
consistency,
durability.
integrity.
Isolation and durability. So if all these things are maintained, then you get to see what we are working with. Okay. And then you can go for a lot of things. There are a lot of things that you can work along with it here. But what we are concerned is with CRUD. You will see this thing a lot. Perform CRUD operation using JDBC onto your program. Okay, what is CRUD?
What is
CRUD
that,
is
ma'am?
nothing but create, yes,
Oh, yes, ma'am.
retrieve, update, and delete.
And delete.
So these are the basic 4
Yeah, ma'am.
operations that you need to do using your Java program. Okay, that is
Yes.
basically by using JDBC. Yes. So in here, you have got few things that you need to understand. So this JDBC is nothing but an API which was introduced for the fundamental, or for the reason for us to connect with any of the database servers. So I can connect to any of the servers which are mentioned there. So I can have to this side of the bargain, I can have any of the languages, and to the other side, I can have any of the other databases that I want. Okay, so Java can connect with Oracle, MySQL, MS SQL. It can connect with MongoDB. It can connect with any other thing that you have. Okay, now, so for doing that, you need to make sure this jar is available with you. Okay, so the jar which you require is java.sql. This is the package which you need to be aware about, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The package is Java SQL, which contains a lot of things. Okay, the interfaces which are very important for you. So it includes things such as connection, one of the important ones. There's an interface called as connection. There is an interface called as statement. There's an interface called as prepared statement. Okay, then there are a few more interfaces that you can just name them. Okay, and you can just get through. You should be knowing about them. Okay, so yeah. I think
Result
we will be using, huh?
result
Yes,
set, ma'am.
result set. Yes. So I was thinking about that. I had a number, but I don't know. Set. There are many. Okay. Now let's see what is the next thing important for us. The next thing is the step to connect to your database. If we are writing the code, what is required? You need to make sure that you have got MySQL installed into your system.
I have
Yes,
installed MS SQL Server, ma'am.
MySQL, right? Or MS
No,
SQL
SQL
Server.
Server, MS SQL Server, ma'am.
Why?
Because according to me, it is more user friendly than MySQL.
Okay, it is your choice, not a very big deal. Okay. The only thing that changes here,
Ma'am,
the SQL part
ma'am,
remains different. Yeah.
so it
Tell
will
me.
be so connecting Java to MS SQL Server uh, will be different process now, ma'am.
No, it's only few statements are going to change. Only the URL patterns are going to change. Nothing else.
So, ma'am,
Not everything.
should I install MySQL?
It's up to you. There's only a single difference. Just have to make sure the jar required for database connectivity is there with you. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So that's it from my end.
मैम
The steps and everything will be doing it tomorrow. Yes, money.
मैम आपने वो JDBC वाला फाइल शेयर किया था ना मैम, मेरा तब वो डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था तो शो नहीं कर रहा वापस.
Okay, so let me just check किधर है वो.
So,
Okay,
will you instruct?
good. Tell me.
Thank
So,
you.
will you instruct? So, will you instruct us, ma'am? How do we connect with SQL Server as well?
I'm going to teach you that tomorrow. How to connect with the database. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. With MS SQL Server, of course, there's a simple URL difference that you need to think about. You'll get all the code online. Just search for it. There's a simple difference that you need to check in. Otherwise, all the code
What is
remains
it, ma'am?
because you're doing Java. Yeah?
What is it, ma'am? JDBC employee JDBC zip.
It is one of the examples, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it is one of the Java code that I've done.
Okay, no. I saw here JDBC. That's why I asked you, ma'am.
Okay, so that's it, people. That's it from my end. Okay, so tomorrow you have to make sure that you prepare for everything else required for your what do you call it? For your sessions. And make sure don't come for the session if you're not prepared with all the programs. Do not waste your day. We are going to meet at night now, and I think the whole day will be enough for you to prepare everything. You have got the whole night and the whole day now. I just
Will you
utilize your 2 hours. Yes.
will you conduct tomorrow session at 8 o'clock, ma'am? Sorry, 7 o'clock.
No, no,
It
it is going
was
to be 9 again.
okay, ma'am. It means
Okay.
9 to 11, ma'am.
Sorry, 8 o'clock. Yes, tomorrow 8 again. Sorry, I was just looking at the time.
Okay,
Yes, 8 o'clock again. If
Okay.
there's a deviation in the time, I'll let you know. Okay.
okay, ma'am. It will be great time.
I cannot hear you. The network was gone.
I would say, ma'am, it is great time. 8 to 10. Sorry, yeah, 8 to
It is
9.
what?
8 to 9, ma'am.
What happened to this?
It is great time, ma'am.
Okay, for you, but
It is great
okay,
time
great.
for us to connect.
Okay, great. Okay. You don't have a proper
Last
network, so it
task
is a
you
bit
have.
difficult for me.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So people will connect again tomorrow.
Ma'am, you have
I cannot hear you. Sudhanshu,
you have
there's a
given us,
network.
ma'am. You have given
Yeah,
us
I
one
have
more
given
program,
you.
ma'am.
Yes, yes. Make sure that you do all the code and you show it to me tomorrow
No, you have
along with
given
the
us more
project.
one more program, ma'am.
What was that?
You have given us one more program, ma'am. I think it was uh, I think it was, ma'am. I don't know.
Okay, take it. If you don't know it, it's okay. For now, just focus on what I've given now. Okay?
Yeah,
Yes,
ma'am. You
Mani?
have given us
Abhi-
to check Fibonacci when.
Yes, yes, yes. There are a lot of code that you need to do. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
So make sure that you have got proper screens to show me. Yes, yes, I know these programs are to be done by tomorrow. That is what I'm saying. Along with the other
No,
programs that I have given on Friday.
no. You have said you have asked. You have given us one or two more programs, ma'am. I
Final
was
keyword.
asking about. Okay, ma'am. Okay, I was
Final
asking about
keyword
this
in this
concept.
keyword. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.